there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hey there, so today we are talking Selena Johnson, formerly of Bring It, who is discussing her ex-husband JJ, who is on the Belle Collective, in which him and his current wife, So Gucci, tried to put out these false narratives about Selena, that she was a deadbeat mom, and all of these things. And so Selena couldn't say what she wanted to say for legal reasons on the show, and so she decided, you know what? I am going to do my own YouTube. And why not, you guys? Why not? If you guys will recall the last video I did on Belle Collective, I pointed out, those of you who were not familiar with Selena Johnson, her and her ex-husband JJ were on another reality show that was on Lifetime called Bring It. It was a dance show about a Diana's dance crew in Mississippi, how they did crunk and other styles of dance and would compete for, you know, different things. The moms were not allowed to be inside for the practices, which caused all kinds of chaos, but there would be times where JJ would show up and you would see him trying to flirt with Selena. They were no longer together at this point, and it was just kind of awkward. And you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of another ex-husband that is on another show on the Oprah Winfrey Network by the name of Martell. Listen to what Selena has said. She basically is saying, listen, this guy has not gotten over the fact that I was the person who left. Basically is saying that somebody is trying to make her life a living HELL. Somebody is trying to put out false narratives and put out the worst picture and presentation that exists of Selena Johnson that isn't true. And everybody knows who she is in real life as a person. She says she's done. She says she's over it. She says, while her ex-husband is going to, sit and try to drag her, him and his, current wife, that she always was protecting his image. Is this giving you guys deja vu? Is it giving you deja vu? When I tell you I've dealt with this, is it Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde? Don't I say this in my videos? Don't I say this? She's trying to say, listen, I'm a good person. This is, the fun side, all of these things. But she was saying, listen, me and my kids know who this man is. Y'all don't know him. And he does have a very dark side. And so the explosive portion of this as well is she said that she has left JJ a number of times and that they have been for various reasons. Everything from cheating, from verbal abuse to physical abuse, for mental abuse, for emotional abuse. Him constantly lying, him constantly cheating, him constantly being controlling, and she couldn't go back anymore. She was over it. She was done. She said that even he would try to block any friends that Selena had and would not even allow her to have a cell phone. And then, he tried to make it seem like, well, you're not going to have a cell phone and I'm not going to have one either, although he kept a secret cell phone and hid it in his vehicle, you guys. This is what I'm talking about, the levels that these, and this is why I don't like, when they try to highlight these men on these reality shows and they try to present these false narratives that these were a good husband, these were good men who were just done wrong by their exes. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, off camera, there is a whole nother chaotic person that is not being shown because the producer likes his little funny jokes and his funny hairstyle on the show. So therefore, they're going to edit out all of the problematic things he says and does in real life. And so also, basically says that he is jealous, her ex-husband is jealous of the fact that the relationship she has with the kids is super close. And he feels a certain type of way about that. So he thinks his only response is to bash her and call her all these names. And so she was trying to explain the time period in which JJ was taking care of their daughters. And basically said at that point in time, she had lost her grandmother. She had lost her grandmother, which ultimately she ended up, led to her having a stroke, and wanted JJ to take care of their daughters until everything, got resolved. She got back on her feet and everything else. But, again, she was the one who gave the recommendation for, her ex-husband and his new wife to be on this show. She didn't know he was going to flip it around and use the show to drag her and to make her look crazy and to try to make her look bad. And I was like, this is deja vu, you guys. This is deja vu. This is everything that we talk about in the videos about Love and Marriage Huntsville. This is everything we discuss. The gaslighting, this image where these men on the Oppressed Women Network, they try to, make it seem like they're this good guy who's misunderstood, this good guy who is seen as the villain. They have a bitter ex who's upset that things didn't work out, and although they were not the ones who left, but they were the ones who were doing the cheating and doing the variations of the abuse and the harassment and the controlling behavior and all of these things. And I'm thinking to myself, this is Martell. This is Martell Holt. Like, is there something in the water, with the casting for these shows on these reality shows where they just find these men who they're going to prop up, especially if they're decent looking, they're going to prop up and make it seem like they are this good, eligible black man that does no wrong, that is nice, that has charisma, that, is a flirt, is just very friendly, would never harm a woman, would never do anything to a woman, right? And just because they say that they've never hurt a woman or, anything like that, that we should take that as the gospel. And that even if their own ex is trying to cover for them by saying that nothing ever happened, because they're trying to protect, their kids, they're trying to protect this person's reputation, not realizing that their ex doesn't care. And I was like, this is deja vu. This is deja vu. Is JJ and Martell the same person? The only difference that when I was, watching Selena's YouTube video, the only difference between, her ex-husband and Martell is that Martell's side chick does not have the platform to go on Love and Marriage Huntsville and also bash Melody Cherie Rogers. That really is like one of the biggest differences, right? Is that unfortunately for us, but unfortunately for Martell's side chick, she does not have the platform to go on the network and, spread more lies and propaganda against Melody Cherie Rogers, right? And there's not an opportunity, because without her being on the show, she doesn't want her side baby that she had with a married man on the show. But it wouldn't have happened anyway, right? But I say all of this because I really wanted to put this into perspective, you guys, that there is a problem with not showing the real in reality TV with these men. And this is what is so crazy, is because there are pick-me's who will fall for the trap, who will, fall for these guys' charm and think that they are misunderstood. And think that their exes are just bitter, are just angry, that they're no longer together and all of these things. But they're the ones who left. They're the ones who were done with it all. You thought you could stick around and treat them this way and they were never going to leave you and were never going to leave you for good. And thought that your cycle of abuse was okay. And that they just had to get used to it and deal with your ways. And in both situations, you could tell both Martell and even both with JJ from Belle Collective had never had any woman that looked like the level of their ex-wife. did not have women like their exes who were go-getters, who were, excellent mothers to the kids, set great examples for the kids. And so what happens with these men? That, they see somebody who is doing more than them, who is, about that life, is standing on business, and they start to feel insecure. The kids start coming, they're close to the kids, they're trying to provide for the kids, and somebody gets insecure. And somebody feels like they need to be validated by somebody else because they feel that they're not getting enough attention at home from their wives. And so then they find people like Martell Sidechick to, ease their ego while they're complaining about their spouse to them night and day. And then ultimately, because people are sloppy that cheat, especially men, they're sloppy and they eventually get caught. And initially, for some people, it's an immediate deal breaker. Cheating's an immediate deal breaker. The moment it happens, we're done. But there's some people, especially if there's kids involved, they want to try to work it out initially. And there's no judgment, right? If you're trying to look at the bigger picture and you think you can get past it and you think you can do counseling and rehabilitate the marriage and get back to the original family structure, it does happen sometimes. But unfortunately, there are a lot of times that, again, you'll think the person has changed. You'll follow all the steps, all the counseling, everything seems like things are back on the right track. And that is when the cheating and the abuse starts again. And the cycle repeats itself. And then they try to find more ways to be more covert about the cheating or more covert about the type of abuse that they're going to do this time. To try to see if they can try to outsmart you and outdo you this time around so that way you don't leave them again. But ultimately it backfires because something worse happens. And so my heart and prayers go out to Selena and the girls. Because unfortunately, there is a new viewing audience of Belle Collective who has no idea the history of, seeing Selena Johnson before and her daughters before on another reality show and her ex-husband JJ before. And all of the times, anytime he was in her face, even though they were no longer romantically involved, was gassing her up, was, flirting with her, telling her how pretty she was and all these things and really trying to make it seem like everything was on the up and up for the cameras. But I knew better. But everybody was so geeked at how goofy JJ was that they never thought, maybe all of this is an act. Maybe all of this is for pretend, and behind the scenes, he is nothing but chaos. So I wanted to particularly do this video because I wanted to show the parallels that these men are something else, you guys. These men are absolutely something else. But this is the danger of reality TV as well. Of putting some of these people on pedestals or thinking some of these people have it made, have it good, or are just simply quote unquote misunderstood. But the people who are misunderstood a lot of times are the people who are getting the villain edits on the show, or the people who are getting bullied on the show. Those are usually the people who are misunderstood. The people who are getting a good edit and putting out the false narratives about you and spreading all of these rumors about you to defame you and slander you, usually those are the people that are the most chaotic behind the scenes because they see this as their opportunity to convince the viewing public that they're the good person, that nothing's wrong with them, that it's somebody else's fault. And that is so dangerous, you guys. That is so dangerous. And then we have people like the cast in Love and Marriage Huntsville who are aware of how psycho some of their own castmates are and still defend them, you guys. And get their family members to also defend them. And tell us that we're the ones who are crazy and that we're a cult and that we're just trying to just support somebody just because they're female and all these other things. But completely ignoring the facts that are in front of their face. So there is that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.